Have you ever felt as though you're wearing a mask, carefully curating every word and gesture to fit into the expectations that swirl around you? Maybe you've sat in a crowded room, laughing at the right times, nodding along, but deep down, wondering if anyone truly knows the real you. Imagine for a moment what would happen if you dropped that mask, if you let your true self shine, even in the smallest of ways. What if that honest act, as simple as it might seem, could ripple across your life and the lives of others, setting off a chain of positive change you never thought possible? The journey we're about to take is all about the ripple effect of authenticity. Why showing up as your real self might just be the most transformative decision you ever make. Let's start by confronting a truth about the world we live in. Everywhere we turn, we're bombarded by carefully filtered images, highlight reels, and personas that have been shaped to fit the mold of what's considered acceptable or impressive. Social media, workplaces, even our communities often reward conformity, pressuring us to present only the best, most polished version of ourselves. It's easy to fall into the habit of performing, to slip on a mask so seamlessly that sometimes we forget it's there. But this constant role-playing has a hidden cost. When we move through life inauthentically, we carry a heavy burden. Stress, anxiety, and a lingering sense of isolation become our quiet companions. The more we hide, the wider the gap grows between who we are and who we pretend to be. I know this feeling well. There was a time when I would agonize over every word, every action, measuring myself against invisible standards. It was exhausting. Eventually, I realized I wasn't just hiding from the world. I was hiding from myself, denying the chance to be seen or understood for who I really was. Does this resonate with you? Have you ever felt that ache, the tension of living behind a facade? If so, know that you're not alone. Many of us have felt the weight of presenting a false version of ourselves in order to fit in, to be accepted, or simply to avoid conflict. But here's the good news. There's a way out, and it begins with the smallest of choices. Contrary to what you might think, embracing authenticity doesn't demand a monumental shift overnight. It starts with a single, courageous act. Perhaps it's as simple as setting a boundary with someone who expects too much of you, or sharing your honest opinion in a conversation where you'd normally stay silent. Maybe it's choosing to pursue a hobby or passion that excites you, even if it's not trendy or widely understood. Yes, these small moments can feel terrifying. Your heart pounds, your voice quivers, and for a brief instant, you may wonder if you've made a mistake. But that vulnerability is where freedom's born. In that moment, you're no longer shackled by fear or expectation. You're stepping into the light of your own truth. If you're still listening, it means you're open to taking those first steps. Maybe you're ready to tell someone how you really feel, to admit your dreams, or to acknowledge a part of yourself you've kept hidden. That's where the ripple begins. One honest act that sets everything in motion. As you take that first step into authenticity, something remarkable begins to unfold. You'll notice that genuine connections grow stronger, while superficial ones naturally fall away. People who appreciate the real you will draw closer, offering support and understanding that feels deeper and more meaningful. Those who are only invested in your mask may fade into the background. And while that can be bittersweet, it opens space for relationships that truly nourish you. Internally, the changes are just as profound. Anxiety and self-doubt begin to loosen their grip. Your sense of self-acceptance grows, and you find it easier to align your actions with your deepest values. Instead of constantly worrying about how you're being perceived, you start to feel grounded, breathing easier than you have in years. The pressure to perform melts away, replaced by a quiet confidence that comes from living in alignment with your true self. It's like finally exhaling after holding your breath for far too long. You realize you don't have to keep up the act. You don't have to fit into anyone else's narrative. You just need to be. But the power of authenticity doesn't stop at the boundaries of your own life. When you choose to live authentically, you set off ripples that reach much farther than you might imagine. Think about a time when you witnessed someone speak their truth with courage or vulnerability. Didn't it inspire you to reflect on your own life, maybe even to open up a bit more yourself? This is the contagious nature of authenticity. Your openness creates a space where others feel safe to be real too. In your family, among friends, at work, or within your community, this ripple effect can transform the way people relate to each other. Trust deepens, creativity flourishes, and a culture of honesty begins to take root. Sometimes these ripples grow into waves, sparking change in organizations and even in broader social movements. It all starts with someone willing to be genuine, someone like you. Of course, living authentically isn't a destination you reach and then forget about. It's an ongoing journey filled with both progress and setbacks. There will be days when you find yourself reaching for the old mask, slipping into familiar patterns out of habit or fear. That's normal. Setbacks aren't failures. They're reminders to pause, reflect, and realign. To sustain the flow of authenticity in your life, it helps to check in with yourself regularly. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Am I honoring my needs and boundaries? It's also vital to surround yourself with people who celebrate your authenticity rather than suppress it. Those who encourage you to grow, even as your authentic self evolves over time. Remember, authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, courageous, and willing to grow. Your true self will change as you learn and experience new things, and that's not just okay. It's beautiful. Every step you take toward living authentically, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. Your willingness to explore authenticity is already proof that you're ready to set your own ripple in motion. So I challenge you, starting today, to choose one act of authenticity. Speak your truth, even if your voice trembles. Follow your passion, even if no one else understands it. Drop the mask, even if just for a moment, and notice how it feels. Observe how that single act begins to ripple out, touching your life and the lives of those around you. Because the most powerful tool you possess isn't your skill, your status, or your charm. It's your raw, unfiltered self. When you show up fully, you don't just change your own story. You help to rewrite the stories of everyone you encounter. Your authenticity is a beacon, a gift to the world that encourages others to shine, too. If this message resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need encouragement to live more authentically. Remember, you don't need permission to be yourself. The world needs you as you are. Let the ripple begin.